What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Multiverse podcast. I'm your co-host, Warren, and with me, this way, is Jimmy, other co-host, and lots to talk about on this podcast today. I mean, since we've last talked, Ultron's back, and I don't, was it last podcast where we talked, where you specifically said you believe Ultron's going to come back?
Yeah, I predicted the future.
Yeah.
I am going to stop this podcast and become an official leaker.
There you go.
And that will be my new MO.
There you go. Get the Patreon started so you can
yeah. Absolutely. What is it? Huge leak, only subscribers, click the button.
Yes. You have to. That's what you get.
And technically I can advertise a 100% track record right now.
That's true. That's true.
I can.
Yeah, that was just and it was like we recorded it Wednesday and then it came out like a day or two later. Like,
I know. It looked really good.
Yeah.
It put us in a good light, even though it was completely lucky and just coincidence. It needed to happen. I mean, it needed to happen for sure.
Yeah, totally. Marvel right now, I think, is in the state, and I've said this a few times, like it seems like they are kind of going back to old characters, old actors, what worked before, or what they know fans will be receptive of. Because, like, yes, I think we talked about this as well in one of the podcasts. Like, yes, you can say, like, oh, Ultron was like kind of nerfed in Age of Ultron, like wasn't as powerful as he is, like he needed to be a bigger adversary. But I think fans really want to see the big bad Ultron. So I think Marvel knew, like bringing him back is going to really get fans' attention. And then there's also talks about, Elizabeth Olsen maybe returning in this series as well. So it's like,
they just juice star power for it.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And there's some comic runs. I mean, there's some comic moments where Ultron just destroys everybody. I mean, there's a picture I've seen, I don't remember which run it is, where he handled all the Avengers. Like Cap's underneath him with a broken shield, Spider-Man's underneath him, Hulk's underneath him. I think he's got he's got one of them by the head. I mean, it's just they're all obliterated.
Yeah, and that was the problem, is that Ultron is such a huge foe and such a powerful character. People were pretty pissed that it was just kind of like a one and done. And even in the movie, it didn't seem like he was super, super, super powerful. But it's kind of like we talked about. He can't really die unless you truly get rid of every single trace possible of him, which kind of isn't possible. Like, how do you get rid of something on the internet, right? It's like today's day and age. You post something, right? Like if you're like a relatively like famous person or something, you post something on the internet, like people have just screenshotted it, right? It's like in logs on whatever website you did it, right? It's there. So it's like, how could you ever truly get rid of Ultron?
Well, they technically burned him out. They burned him out of the net at the end of Avengers Ultron, but it's not saying he can't literally
but in
reboot or find a way back in.
In Homecoming, Department of Damage Control has an Ultron bot head, which could be one.
I mean, there's 1,000 ways they could.
There's ways, and Wakanda Forever, I think it was, or was it the first Black Panther? Maybe I think it was the second one. It was Queen Ramonda talked about not trusting AI. So it was like super foreshadowing there, right? So
the fact that it's Spader, I mean, we're on track.
Right.
We're on track.
Well, the hype is there. You know what I mean? Like the hype really is there. And if they brought back Wanda, or hold on, let me rephrase this. If they brought back Elizabeth Olsen in the show, because she might not play Wanda, but I think fans would freak out because Vision's going to create a family. And I think he's going to create like a synthezoid Wanda because it's based off his memories. And in the comics, he makes Virginia, his wife, out of the brainwaves of Wanda. So in the MCU, what if he does the same thing, but instead of, it's not just the brainwaves, it's also physical, like, you know what I mean? So imagine Elizabeth Olsen coming back, but not as a Scarlet Witch. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, they're starting to cook. And a segue into starting to cook. This is episode 3.
Yeah.
We've made it to episode 3. We're not there for it becoming a habit yet. You said we had to go 21 episodes before it's technically a habit.
That is the rule.
That's the rule. So
and I think we put it upon ourselves to say 21 episodes.
Okay, so we have 20 episodes left. But thank you to everybody who has tuned in, whether it be Spotify, Apple. We are officially across the board. As in, if you find this and you go to our solo page, our landing page, where you can find all of our platforms, we're booted up everywhere. Every podcast spot, every social, every YouTube. We're out there.
Wherever you can listen to stuff.
Wherever you can listen or watch, we are out there.
Yep, sorry.
So if you guys are watching on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify, wherever you can get a comment section, and I think most everywhere has a comment section, leave us comments. Give us feedback. We actually have some comments.
We have a few comments today. We're talking. Yeah.
We have some community comments that we're going to showcase today. And the more you guys give, the merrier. Plus, we launched a Discord. Now it just launched. So there's not a lot going on in there yet, but it is going to be predicated and built exactly for this. If you guys want to get in there, we already have categories where you can give us overrated, underrated stuff. You can really put me and Warren to the test with what you want to see us do in the podcast. You can abuse us if you want to, but yeah, join the Discord and listen or watch wherever you want. All right. Is Doctor Strange the 616 anchor being anchor hero? I don't like anchor hero. And I don't know why people, I don't think they said anchor hero in Deadpool.
No,
they said anchor being. But now it's out there. If you go look, people are saying anchor hero. And it's not, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a hero. They never said that. They said a very important person or
right. Yeah.
Person.
And when it's in the multiverse, it could literally be anybody. Like in a, it could be a president of the United States at some point who has to do something, right? There's a lot of questions going around right now about anchor beings.
The knee-jerk reaction was, "Oh, it's Tony Stark. Oh, and now he's dead, so we're slowly going to wither away." Like
no,
they said
I don't think that's what it is.
I saw the Doctor Strange thing out there and I started thinking about it, and I don't know if there's a more important person for 616 than Doctor Strange. I'm kind of on board.
Well,
who would you pick right now as the MCU or the 616 anchor being right now?
So my mind thinks a little bit differently though.
Okay.
I think kind of in terms of story, yes, but also popularity as well. Like, so right off the bat, I would say Peter Parker.
What track record does Peter have to say he's the most important person for that universe?
Well, see, but that's the thing, right? Is that there's no guideline for this, right? Like, why was Logan out of all of the people, out of all of the X-Men, right? And keep in mind, that's still in the 10,005 universe.
They said because of his sacrifice.
Well, right, but you have to imagine other X-Men have made sacrifice as well, right? Other X-Men have done that. I mean,
Doctor Strange put
I'm not saying it's
not in a blender. He looked 14 million different ways to figure out the one way for us to stop Thanos. Doctor Strange is pretty important to
but to me, see, and this is going to sound wrong because I do really love Doctor Strange. We talked about this last time. I think Benedict Cumberbatch, like, he's the epitome of Doctor Strange. But he's not the Sorcerer Supreme right now. Wong is.
That's just the title.
I get that, but I think he's kind of replaceable in some aspects of everything.
What about what's her name? I don't remember what her name was.
The Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. When she was knocking
well, that's what I'm saying.
Bruce Banner.
Right. You could argue that she herself.
She said it wouldn't be the Sorcerer Supreme, didn't she? Or did I just make that up?
What are you talking about?
When they're on the rooftop and he's trying to get the time stone from her. She says something about.
She says he's not.
He's going to be the most important, or something along the lines of he is the greatest of us all, or could be, or something. She says something.
Strange is supposed to be the greatest of us all. Yeah. I see. Yeah. I don't think she says
foreshadowing. Anchor being.
I don't think they had the plans back then. I think it worked out nicely.
That's
if
how
he
Marvel
is.
works, man. People attach stuff that Kevin Feige looks back and says,
Right,
"Oh,
exactly.
that's funny."
No,
Yeah,
exactly,
sure.
exactly.
Who's
Well,
your
here
so you say Peter.
I say Peter because there's some insiders who have been talking a little bit behind the scenes, some stuff that I've heard.
Mm.
And I think a lot of people guess Doctor Strange, which is a very good, logical guess and could very well be true. But some of them say Peter, so that's why I'm kind of like, and I think it makes sense because marketing, leadership, movie wise, like he's going to be one of the main characters, right?
Oh, I
So
know.
and so this is might be important too. We don't know yet, but we talked about this last time. Strange might not survive Secret Wars, and I know Peter Parker is going to. If his contract is still the same, where he's got 6 more films, he's going to survive.
Well, you
So that
don't
also
technically
makes
have
sense.
to have an anchor being survive. If they die, hypothetically, your timeline starts to wither away over time. And that's why they were making that time splitter,
Well, right, but
shredder,
yeah.
whatever thing
Yeah.
to speed that up. So,
Time
all
ripper.
right, I say Doctor Strange. You say Peter, Spider-Man. So if you're listening to this, tell us who you think the anchor being is in 616.
Yes, please.
I posted a picture the other day of Hugh Jackman and Daphne, and she was in matching yellow
Wolverine costume,
Wolverine garb,
suit,
right? And I said, "Do you think X-23 could be the next Wolverine?" And I didn't expect the hostility.
Oh yeah,
that I got.
Oh yeah.
Now, look, I can weed out the ones that are just stupid, right?
Yeah.
But there was one comment that just I couldn't let go. And it's the whole adage, you could get 1,000 positive comments and you get 1 negative and you automatically attach to that toxic comment and you shouldn't. So don't be like me, guys. But somebody said there's no way she can be the next Wolverine because she can't match his Furiosity. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, she matched his Furiosity at like age 12.
Yeah, yeah. That was something I was really looking forward to in Deadpool and Wolverine because we knew she was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Like her yells and her screams and stuff. And she did it. Like, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's intense.
I think there's something to also say about like intensity isn't just yelling, right? Like I'm thinking of Logan, of Wolverine just like running, like just hauling through the woods, claws out, he's all jacked. You know what I mean? Like you could argue that is a certain intensity that Daphne couldn't do, right?
No, because that's Hugh, and that's Hugh's version of Wolverine, which is why he's so special. But there's no reason why she can't be special with her version.
Well, she's also not Wolverine, though.
I know she's actually. I know.
That would be my argument.
The question is, could she?
I don't care if she's
Wolverine?
A girl.
Could she carry that mantle, if you will?
No, there's so many aspects to this.
I know why a lot of the people commented what they did because you can't have Wolverine as a girl, that won't work, and I don't know, man.
I don't care about that.
I know everybody wants Henry Cavill. That's not happening. I don't think that's happening.
I think there's a possibility of that.
Not the permanent moving forward reboot Wolverine. I don't think it is.
I think it might be.
I don't think it is.
I kind of want it to be.
We'll come back.
Want it. Oh, I'm actually for Daniel Radcliffe as well. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, he's shorter. I think he's
what
like
about
5'6"
what about Edgerton?
Taron
Edgerton.
Yeah, he met with Marvel recently. Maybe it's about.
He's short. He's stocky.
Yeah, he can get really in shape. Like you look at him in the Kingsman movies, and he did Eddie the Eagle with Hugh Jackman. And I think Hugh like endorsed him and was kind of like, if they want him to play it, like that's a great choice or something.
All right,
but I think just if they're redoing the MCU and they're starting from kind of scratch, and it's like now you have the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, you need just a real Logan Wolverine. I know we're just coming off of Hugh Jackman Wolverine and everything.
We're not just coming off of it, Warren. It's been 25 years.
Well, Deadpool and Wolverine just came out.
I know, but I mean, we've had the Hugh Jackman Wolverine for over 2 decades.
Right,
Why
exactly.
can't we get a different one?
Because I don't think people want that. And I think Marvel realizes that.
I think it's a lot trickier than you're giving it credit for to bring in the next person and have that same persona of a Logan Wolverine, because it is Hugh Jackman's moniker and it's his legacy, and that's going to be tricky.
I get that.
So you know how you divert that, or you skirt around that, you do a different version.
Yeah, but see, what I'm actually going on more is the fact that if we are starting kind of from scratch and now everybody is in the same ballpark in the same universe, I think myself personally would like, and I think a lot of fans would like, a real X-Men team. Logan, Jean, Scott, all that stuff,
I got you.
Yeah.
I swear we are only going to talk about this for about 2 minutes. I promise.
Let's start.
This show is not going to.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I was about to say, Wes, time it. We forgot to give Wes a shout out in his introduction today.
We did.
Man behind the curtain.
The voice behind
the curtain. He's a man, though.
He is a man with a voice.
Hi.
Whoa!
Hi.
Whoa! And he's using our new studio. So as you can see, Warren just got booted to the bottom.
Boom. What's up, everybody?
There we go. He's like, finally.
What's up, Wes?
What's going on, everybody? It's going pretty good.
Yes. All right.
It's going good. Let's have Wes in on this one really quick.
Do it.
Because it's only going to last 2 minutes, I promise. Could Keanu Reeves have saved the Acolyte if he was Soul instead of the current Soul actor? And the reason I ask that is because it has now been released that he was considered and it was a potential thing, except for he had scheduling conflicts. I'm going to start and I'm going to say thank goodness that our Keanu Reeves was not involved in the Acolyte, because not only would he have not saved it, even with his epicness, it would have tarnished him.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, first of all, Neo and Trinity, Star Wars, like, right? Because it's just kind of like, seems a little cheesy. But no, I 100% think, like, sorry, it would have tarnished. It wouldn't have been better. Like,
we dodged a bullet.
Yeah, it's like I watched this thing. I watched some videos somebody did, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was somebody talking about it's like sometimes like a really awesome character can make up for not so good of a story. But that's the thing, is like it has to be like one of the greatest characters ever, and it has to be still somewhat of a decent story. It can't be a really bad story, which I believe the Acolyte was. And I don't think just that character that was designed, I don't think it really matters which actor played it, because I think it was
the guy that played him was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it matters who. So yeah, I think it would have only done more harm for Keanu than good. I don't think he could.
Wes, what do you think?
Yeah, no, there was no saving that show. Like, at all. There was no saving it. Like, they could have like Leo DiCaprio play a role, and it's not saving that show. Like, straight up.
Yeah, I think
save Keanu for something like epic, truly epic. That's like a new story, some like Andor type vibe. Give him something like that and just let him run with it.
Yeah, it would have to have.
He could be Ghost Rider.
That too. I would love that. And he would have to have, if he was in Star Wars, he'd have to be a Jedi or Sith, and he'd have to have a lot of lightsaber fights.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd have to.
Okay, cool. All right, we went over 2 minutes. We can't talk about it anymore.
There you go. All right, so
it's done.
This next part, we want to also really talk to all of you listening or watching. We want to know this, but we're going to talk about how many MCU movies have you seen in theaters. This is real easy for me. I don't know about you, Jimmy.
This is going to be like a 10-second segment.
Yeah. Every
yeah,
just totally
from the very beginning. Even Hulk.
Yeah.
Even Hulk.
So I'm thinking we might have some younger listeners who maybe were kind of too young to maybe go see Iron Man, Incredible Hulk in the theaters. Like, I remember watching the original X-Men in the 2000 X-Men, and then Spider-Man. Like, I remember.
Yeah.
I think I was, okay, so 2000. Yeah, I was 11. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing the ages. But definitely I've seen every one of them. And what's really cool is me and Ashley started at the very beginning together. And we have seen every single MCU movie together. We have not missed one. And it has now grown into and evolved into what we call a Marvel family movie night.
Kids.
And any family members that are around, like even the adult kids, whoever, if they got grandfathered in with their like significant other or
Their
whatever,
spouses and stuff.
they
Yeah,
get to go.
yeah.
So we sometimes roll 9 to like 12 deep
That's awesome.
to go watch. Yeah. So it's special.
For the new
special
ones
for
that
us.
come out, you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great tradition to start.
It is.
Yeah.
Problem is when they all get to be adults and then they have kids and everything. I'm not buying 42 movie tickets
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
and buying all their popcorn and drinks and
Right,
everything. It's going to get ridiculous. But right now, it's
maybe if everybody helps us blow up the multiverse, huh?
yeah. Exactly.
Do it for the kids, guys.
Yeah. All right, Warren, your Mount Rushmore, and we're going to do 2 here. I want your Mount Rushmore of Marvel heroes, specifically heroes. You've got 4 spots. Who are you putting on there?
So when you're saying specifically heroes, so no villains.
No villains, specifically.
So is this MCU or comics or?
It's just Marvel. Marvel.
All right, so I'm throwing Thor in there because he's just like my favorite. Thor's my favorite.
I love Thor too, but I don't know if he makes it on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he makes it on mine. Scarlet Witch. Wait, there's so many.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not your typical like I don't know if a lot of people like Iron Man wasn't really popular in the comics. Like
nobody's popular now.
Right, exactly. No,
your chair is literally Iron Man.
I know. But you have to keep in mind that I started very young with the original X-Men animated series, really, and that got me in the comics, and then I watched, all the other stuff growing up. So for me, I was introduced to a lot of really awesome heroes before Iron Man. Don't get me wrong, I love Iron Man. But so let's see, for my Mount Rushmore. Okay, so 2 that I have to put in there.
You've only got 2 left.
Well, erase those for a second. 2 that I have to put in there, and this may just end up being the top 4, but 2 that I have to put in there are Magneto and Doom.
Those are heroes, Warren.
Son of a whore. Well, you could argue they're heroes sometimes. It makes it easier then. Because I got Thor, the Scarlet Witch, who you could also, like House of M stuff, could argue she is a villain. So Thor, the Scarlet Witch.
This is really hard for you.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I know we're going to go into top 5s, and one of the top 5s, I was like, why would you ask me this? This is way too hard. So it's like, and this is basically asking me for a top 4. So it's really hard. But Thor, I mean, like.
He's struggling, Wes.
I mean, look at this. I mean, I love Thor so much. All right, I got it. So it's going to, I don't get it. So it's going to be Thor, the Scarlet Witch, Wolverine, and Scott Summers, aka Cyclops.
Okay.
I know it's not an expected list, but these are characters that I freaking like. I cannot tell you how much I loved X-Men 97 because Cyclops was just done so perfectly. I loved it.
Okay. Mine would be Captain America.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that he was. It's a struggle. It's a struggle with these, but okay. Yeah. Captain and Spidey.
I'm gonna go. Man, Thor.
People don't realize how deep Thor stories are in the comics. Like they're deep.
I'm gonna go Iron Man because I'm so attached to the MCU Iron Man.
Wait, time out. Did you say Thor was one of yours?
No, I thought about it, but no.
Okay, so Cap, Spidey.
I like Iron him. Man. I like him a lot.
It's hard. Yeah. No, it's a hard one. Yeah.
Cap, Spidey, Iron Man. This is a default list so far, and I'm gonna go. Daredevil.
Okay. No X-Men, no Fantastic Four, huh?
There's not enough room.
There's really not enough. Yeah, 4 is really like a Mount Rushmore is really hard. But,
Okay.
but what's your 4, guys? In the whoever's listening, guys and gals, please let us know your 4, your Mount Rushmore. Who would be your? Is it just top? It's heroes. So top 4 Marvel heroes. Who would you like to see carved in stone in a giant mountain?
Maybe at another date we'll do MCU. All right, we're gonna back it up with the other side. Your top 4 DC heroes. This is easier. I know this is gonna be way easier for you.
Well, Batman is my favorite.
Okay.
Ever.
So he's on there.
Yeah. So, like, I can't explain how cool I think Batman is. Wait, sorry. It's heroes, right? Any gender, right? Yeah. Wonder Woman. I love me some Wonder Woman. This is kind of like a little bit more generic. Superman.
Cutter.
yeah. You know, I want to like try to go like a little out of the way. It's kind of like, or do I want to just, I'm, Hal Jordan. I mean, Green Lantern.
That's literally the exact same list I was.
The same list. I mean, because it's just like,
you can't not put Batman up there. And Batman's not my favorite character, but he has earned the respect to be on my DC Rushmore.
Oh, totally.
Superman is the GOAT.
You're wearing a Superman shirt.
Yeah, I mean, Superman is the GOAT. I mean, he is. And I like Green Lantern. I like Hal Jordan's version of Green Lantern. And Wonder Woman, I would say it would be a toss-up between Wonder Woman and Flash for me. At any given time, but we have the same DC Mount Rushmore.
There you go. What's yours, everybody listening?
What is yours, guys? That was very anticlimactic.
Call us basic if you want.
Yeah, that was very basic. Okay.
Okay.
Are we at the point where Pedro Pascal is being overcasted? I saw this on. I want to shout him out, but I can't remember the name. Something Only Comics on TikTok. 2 guys just bantering back and forth. I can't remember, but something like that. Really good show. And they were talking about it or had the question of, is Pedro Pascal being overcast? And the argument is they argued Glenn Powell. Somebody argued Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
And the point was Glenn Powell is he's coming up, right? Like he's trending, he's getting popular, he's in more and more stuff, but he's in roles that are created for him.
Oh, I see.
Pedro Pascal has been in roles that are already established, and they are major roles. The Mandalorian, Joel from The Last of Us. Now he's going to be Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. I'm pretty sure there's one more I'm not thinking of that was a really big one that he was also in. I can't remember, but he is doing legacy roles. So the question is, are we getting to a point where we're going to get some Pedro Pascal burnout?
I think that's
a good question.
It's a good question. I think it really will just depend on the person and how you feel about him. Like me, like I like him. I don't think he's a bad choice for Mr. Fantastic.
I don't think
he wouldn't have been my first choice. Right. He wouldn't have been my first choice. I actually probably I wouldn't have taken Adam Driver over him.
See, I would have stuck with John.
That's what I would say. I thought he was perfect. And I just kind of thought, how do you not do that? We don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
I know.
But I'm not tired of him by any means. And I'll talk about him.
Think of the roles that he's...
So The Last of Us, to me, I never played the game. I didn't know much.
Killed it.
I was gonna say, but to me, he did a great job. Like that's the thing is like
he embodied Joel.
Did he? Okay.
Was, oh yeah.
So that's the deal to me. Like as long as he does a really good job at these roles, then I say, well, yeah, he's gonna get hired more to do some iconic. Because I think at this point in time, right now especially, he is an iconic actor. So to give him iconic roles,
Fantastic. I'm nervous.
I'm curious. Nervous. I'm curious because, and I would be nervous if I didn't think Feige is just pouring everything he has into it. So to me, it's kind of
it's going to be okay, but I'm nervous. I'm also nervous about I'm not good with names. Johnny Storm,
Joseph Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an interesting cast to me as well. But I think
I'm sure it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think people have a tendency to just compare to what we've already seen.
I know.
So let's just keep an open mind. But
I got you.
I don't doubt. So the reason I'm not so nervous is I don't doubt any of their acting capabilities. And
Yeah.
I love Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, I think she was a great casting.
Yeah, but I also really trust. This is Kevin Feige's baby.
I get
Like
it.
his baby. So I'm chilling. I'm ready to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
When I say Mark Hamill, what's your first thought?
I don't want to say. I'm not the biggest Mark Hamill fan.
Okay, well that's going to feed into this. I'm going to be honest with you. As I've grown up and as social media has taken over and as I see people in different stages and different lights, I'm not the biggest fan that I used to be of him either.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
No, it's the same for me. Like as I follow him on social media and stuff, I realize I'm like, I like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
But
you like the voice, you like the Joker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a post or a picture. He goes to a lot of cons.
Yeah.
Does a lot of signings.
Yeah.
And I can attest to this. I've seen some of these prices, and his pricing at one of these cons, and I'm not. Don't quote me, but this is probably around where it was $400 for a small item, $500 for a larger, like 8x10 photo, $700 to sign it.
To sign them?
To sign them, and it was $700 for a bulk item, a big bulky item. Two things come to mind here, and I kind of take it personal. I feel like he got so big, and I don't want to make this a Mark Hamill hate fest or anything like that. But I feel
don't
like
hate him by any means.
He got so big in the fact that he was Luke, and he knows that he like stands on top of fans to a degree, like on a pedestal as Luke, and it's kind of an automatic, regardless of what you do to a degree to some fans. He's Luke Skywalker. To push like those type of prices to your fans, the ones that you know are going to go scrounge up that money because they want your scribble.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth $700 for a Mark Hamill auto?
Do I? No.
Yeah.
I don't think twice about it. Like, no.
Okay.
And I don't like dislike him or hate him, right? But like it's kind of like you said, like just after, like I could kind of tell how he is, and it's just not how I am. So it's like we just probably wouldn't vibe well together.
I had a different assumption when I was younger of what he would be like.
So this is like, okay, I was literally talking to somebody about what I think you're about to talk about the other day. It's kind of like don't meet your heroes type of thing.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know me, I have a channel called The Cosmic Wonder. It's got almost 1 million subscribers. I've done many red carpets for not just Marvel, but Disney stuff. I've done DC stuff. I've met a lot of actors, and I've hung out with some casually in like after party settings or like, you know, like a party at somebody's house, and, you know, they know when they show up. Some are cool, some are just not. And so here's what I was saying to somebody the other day about like liking actors. Like it is such a weird thing how you could really, really just like somebody, but then if they're rude to you or something like that, you just completely don't care about them at all.
Right.
Like it's kind of just like, wow, like this idea that I had of you is completely off. You're actually kind of a douchebag. And now I don't care about you like at all. It's like so weird how you're like,
you're not vested anymore.
Right. At all. Right. And at some point in time, that happened to me with Mark Hamill.
I got you. Yeah. All right. I wouldn't pay $700 either. Nope. I feel like that's just egregious personally.
Well, yeah. And especially when you consider some people who go to Comic-Con don't have a lot of money. Like, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
they
like
save up for Comic-Con itself, right? To get a ticket.
Comic-Con. I mean, they're spending tons of money just to get there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost predatory. Probably
Seems a
shouldn't
little
say
bit
that.
like
Is
yeah.
what it is. All right. Mahershala Ali, Blade. There's a
Yeah.
rumor that
Oh,
Snipes
I know this rumor. Yep.
may just go ahead and reprise the role and hold true to what he said in Deadpool and Wolverine that there will only ever be one.
Only ever gonna be one Blade.
Real quick, what are your thoughts?
It could happen, is my thought.
No.
It could.
No.
It could happen. Did you not see the Gambit scene the other day?
Yeah, I saw the behind the
yesterday.
scenes.
They totally
Yeah.
have plans for Gambit. They could totally
He's
have
too
plans for Blade.
old, Warren.
He's not. You asked me that in the first podcast. He's not
Too
too old. I think
too
he
old.
crushed it with that cameo. It was awesome.
He did good. It was fun. It was fan service. I enjoyed it. To do a whole like movie, no. I think it would be a huge mistake. I think you're in a honeymoon phase of seeing him again, and you're all excited. And I don't want to talk about this now because it's not on our list, and we could really get
Into it.
deep into it. I don't think necessarily. I don't want to get hated on for this. That Channing Tatum in a Gambit standalone movie would work with the Gambit that they introduced in Deadpool and Wolverine. I think there is a ton of honeymoon phasing going on right now. I'm included. But I think if you sit back and let it soak in, and then you try to think of a 2-hour movie, I don't know.
Oh, I think it works for Gambit.
We wouldn't
100%.
understand him half the movie, Warren.
Oh, they would ease up a little bit.
Okay. All right. Have you ever experienced Blockbuster in its prime? We're not going to talk about it. Well,
I was going to go back to Blade.
Oh, okay.
I think it could happen. Will it happen? Probably not. But could it? Yeah, totally could
I think
happen.
it's a bad idea.
Anyways, Blockbuster.
Have you ever experienced Blockbuster in its prime?
Oh my gosh, of course.
You're
Yeah.
35?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
34.
yeah. Then you did. So
Oh no, dude, yeah, huge part of my child reading not only movies but video games, you know.
what was the best part for you? For me, I ran straight to the new releases, and usually they were all gone or reserved, and I couldn't get what I wanted. And then I'd go to the video games, and then I'd creep over to the horror movie section. I know you're not doing that.
Nope.
Dude,
I have so many memories, many memories going just like from going with like my parents and my siblings to like, hey, we're gonna watch a movie, like let's go rent a movie from Blockbuster, like a family thing, to older, and me and my friends are like, oh my gosh, like yo, Batman's out or something like that, let's you know what I mean, or like, oh, this new game came out, like we don't want to buy it yet, or you can't.
Would you call and reserve them? Would you reserve movies? That was the thing. You could call and reserve.
Yeah. And also like they had candy and like all this stuff there, right? So you got it right. Yeah. So you got it all. And it was just like for movie lovers, like Blockbuster was awesome. Like I wish we could get an experience kind of like that now. Like you kind of can with streaming, but like I think there is just this feeling of entering the store.
Streaming will never take the place of in real life like that. We wouldn't get one movie. I mean, we would roll 10 deep. We'd come out with a pack of movies for the whole weekend.
I mean, you're there. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. It would fully knowing that we're gonna pay late fees because we're not gonna watch them all in 2 days. And yeah, I love Blockbuster.
Yep, totally.
All right. It is time.
To this day, I have a Nintendo 64 cartridge of Diddy Kong Racing that still has the Blockbuster sticker thing on it because I never returned.
That's probably worth money. You should check on eBay.
I also have
stuff that you don't even realize is
I have
worth
a ton
money.
of Pokemon cards.
I mean,
but anyways, moving on.
It is now time for hit or miss.
Boom! It's time for hit or miss. Everybody, are we getting ready?
We are ready. This is the segment, in case you are new to the podcast, where Wes, the voice behind the curtain, asks us questions and we have to rapid fire. Is it a hit or is it a miss? And for all the audio platforms, don't worry, we'll say
we will say it.
But if you're here on YouTube, you get the card. All right, here we go.
Let's get it going. Okay, guys, ready? Hit or miss the Superman casting.
The new one.
Yes. David Cornsweet.
Hit. I'm good.
Hit.
I
like
your thumbs up is greener than mine.
You're dang right. It is. I don't know. Maybe it's just our lighting in the studio.
It is our lighting. Mine's very dusky. All right. That was easy.
Okay. It's an easy one. hit or miss multiverse storylines.
Like what
it
they've
played
been
out?
so far in the MCU.
Yes, the MCU and just in general multiverse storylines. Are they a hit? Are they a miss?
Hit. I say hit.
Okay.
Not that they've all been a hit, but I think overall for me it's been a hit. And I can see why Jimmy and some people would say it's a miss.
You didn't like the Flash, guys? Come on.
Oh my god.
I like the Flash.
CGI aside.
Nicolas Cage's cameo was peak.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, ready? Hit or miss post-credit scenes in the MCU.
Dude,
That's hard to put into. I'm gonna say in general, the higher percentage would be a hit.
Yeah. See, like,
Yeah,
but
like, there
it's kinda
have been
like
some recently.
Yeah, like recently it's been kind of like,
But we also shouldn't be relying on post-credit scenes to be our wow factor for a movie.
yeah, but they're a really good opportunity to make people excited for what's
Post-credit scene
coming
lover.
next.
Post-credit scene.
Oh,
fanboy.
totally. Hit.
All right.
Post-credit scenes.
Mhm.
I always love sitting just waiting for them. Okay,
And you get to watch all the fake people that aren't really fans.
Right. You're
Dude,
just
As
like,
they leave. You're
the
like,
judgment-
they're walking out. You're like, loser,
Yeah.
loser.
doesn't even go here.
Yeah, you're not even a real fan.
True. Okay, this is one that's not on the list, okay? The branded popcorn buckets at like AMC and other things like that.
I don't, what?
The branded popcorn buckets?
Like a Batman bucket or like I
Yeah,
got
the
like
Batman
the
one,
Deadpool and Wolverine
Deadpool
bucket
and
that I
Wolverine,
have
yeah.
right here.
Oh, see,
This is pretty dang fire. So hold on.
I'm not gonna be a hater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me real quick. I don't eat out of these. Like I never ate out of this. I buy.
Why
it
do
just
you
to
feel
buy
you
it.
have to explain that?
Because it's hard to eat out of the plate. It's not that big. You know what I mean? Like
So, whoa! You don't eat out of it at the movie theater the day you get it and watch
no,
the movie.
I buy it.
I
Take
feel
it
like
to my
that's
car.
I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's part of the legacy of your bucket is you ate that popcorn while you watched that specific movie.
Or
I think you're doing it for all the wrong
looks
reasons.
really cool. So I don't want to butter it all up and have to
Alright.
wash it.
Butter it
Okay.
Okay, this is another one on the theater topic. 3D movies at the theater.
Miss.
Look at us. Here,
Yeah.
here. Tap.
Oh.
Tap. Tap. There we go.
Okay, this is
Yeah, I'm
another
not-
one.
I avoid them.
I don't
Like,
ever watch 3D movies ever.
I avoid them.
Yeah.
That's
Not a
fair, that's
fan.
fair. Okay. Okay. Next one. Hit or miss. Thor: Love and Thunder. It's a tough
And
one.
Jimmy and I both watched it together at the premiere.
We did. We went. We went
That's
to the
on
red
list.
carpet event. We watched it, and during that moment, I would have said green, but after the hype wore off and I processed it and really broke it down, unfortunately I don't like this, but I have to say this because they made it where you don't take him serious, which is
Yeah.
not where I want Thor to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I
miss.
want Thor from Ragnarok where he's funny, but you're also taking him serious. And then when you get into
Exactly.
Infinity War and Endgame, even though we had Fat Thor, he was still struggling with a ton of stuff.
Yeah, they went too
They went too
much.
far.
Yeah, they went too far.
Taika took it too far.
Okay. Next one. Hit or miss. The Batgirl movie being canceled.
I'm gonna say
What? Okay. What do you?
Should
That
have
was-
been canceled. Should have not.
No,
been
it
canceled?
shouldn't have been canceled. So, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
shouldn't
it's,
have
a,
been
so
canceled.
it's a miss for being canceled, or
It's-
green
yeah.
would be yes.
Yeah, I'm
you wanted
confused.
to-
Yeah, it shouldn't have been canceled. It should have been allowed to air. All the people that put the work into it. It wasn't that the one that had Brendan Fraser as
I-
Firefly.
Don't know. I'm not sure.
yes.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
And Keaton was in it as well.
Yeah, that was that
Yeah,
was a
it would have been
miss.
nice to see.
That was a miss.
Okay. So it was a miss from being canceled. Okay, cool.
Yes,
Okay,
Yes.
next one. Hit or
probably
miss.
canceled by people that don't even watch anything.
Yeah, exactly. I was by the suits. Hit or miss. The Peacemaker show.
Oh, Big hit.
Oh,
Are
no,
you
no, yeah,
kidding
yeah,
me?
no, I
Oh
had
my
the wrong one
gosh,
up. I had the
Jimmy!
wrong
I
one
was
up.
like, no
Whoa.
way, dude. That
I
show
had
is
the wrong one up.
amazing.
I've seen it
That
like 10
show
times.
is just. That's an amazing show.
Eagly is Eagly.
Eagly. Oh my
Facts,
gosh! And
facts.
John Cena just did a.
Yeah.
It
John
was.
Ce-
It was. The
John
whole cast was
Cena-
fantastic.
John Cena is underrated.
People sleep
I'm
on
just
John Cena.
I'm
He's
just gonna put
awesome.
that out there.
He is
Yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely.
He's talented. He's a talented actor. Yeah.
He is.
Okay, next one. Subscription services replacing cable.
I'm gonna say miss because. Well, wait. Time out. No, I'm gonna say hit, and I'll leave it at that because I don't. Cable where you'd have to wait for a show to come on, right? That sucks.
Mhm.
But now we have like 20 streaming services, right? And it's like you can't just have one to get what you want. You have to have so many.
Do you miss the sense of community that like a show premiering had?
I do.
Sometimes I do, because I would, like, my dad was really involved with shows and movies and stuff too when he was alive, and we would do a lot of that together. And it'd be like, oh, Thursday night, like I know the new episode of Big Bang Theory is coming on. Me and my dad are gonna watch it together, right?
That's
that
the
was
same
really cool.
That's the same as a family. Like families used to eat dinners together
Right, exactly.
at home.
Right.
Yeah.
But do I like being able to like put on Friends whenever I want in the background.
You like having the options.
Exactly.
I do too.
True.
I do too.
And now but it's a whole other subject. We get this now because it's like, oh, like the new like Rings of Power, like it's coming out at 7:00 or whatever time zone you're on. It's like, yeah, you get you're waiting for that. You can plan to watch that, right? You know what I mean? It's like that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way more convenient now.
It's so much more convenient.
But there was something special about having to be there at that exact time to watch it on a regular setting, or you missed it.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay, next one. Hit or miss the metaverse.
I don't have any like reference to.
Yeah. I would call it a miss because I don't have a reference, which means it's not important to me.
Same, and I haven't really heard anything about it, so that means it's not important.
There's multiple metaverses. It's like the Facebook metaverse, and then there's like going to be the Disney metaverse pretty soon. We could call it like the Fortnite metaverse. Technically, that is.
But metaverse is like VR stuff, right? See, I don't even really know.
No,
what it
metaverse
is,
is literally like the metaverse. It's I think Ready Player One to a degree.
Well, right, exactly, and I don't know. Not a miss.
I guess it is
I'm not going to
miss.
explain myself.
Miss?
It's a miss to me.
Okay, yeah. I don't even want to go down that route.
Exactly. Like I'm so uninvested that I just don't care. Move on.
Yeah. I'm not going to go buy a patch of metaverse dirt if that's what you're asking me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, hit or miss the Snyderverse. Got that Superman shirt on, Jimmy. Man of Steel, bro. Come on now.
You said the Snyderverse as a whole.
No, I know.
I'm going to say hit.
There was bright spots. There was bright spots.
I think because I can't say because I didn't like Joss Whedon's, but the Snyder cut I really like. Because I was going to say Justice League is my problem, but no,
Justice League wasn't my
Aquaman
problem.
was good. Yeah.
What's that?
Can I do this?
I think
Can I do that?
I think the Aquamans are fine. Like,
Can I do that right there?
I think they're really entertaining
Which
at the
one?
least.
Yeah, I'm
No,
doing that right there.
Jimmy
I
said
say
that's
hit.
it.
I say hit.
I'm going split. Okay. I'm pretty sure Wes cooked this theory up, but it's interesting. So I want to ask it.
It's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one. So Tony Stark's death wasn't a predetermined narrative arc. They killed him off because his contract was about up. And I'm going to add in there, they didn't want to pay him any more money.
He had no idea what he was doing to the budget.
Yeah. What do you think?
No, I think there's a lot of determining factors.
I think
But-
Robert Downey Jr. wanted to be the ultimate sacrifice.
Exactly. No,
I think he
exactly.
pushed that.
Right. I think it was a lot of things coming together. Like maybe his contract was up and they were saying like, hey, are we renewing? You want to do it again? And he was like, no, you know what? Maybe this is the end. And he could be the one to save everybody. He started it, let him end it. Like I think there was a lot that came together that made the ultimate determination that this was his time.
But I would say the contract may have played a small role in that.
It did. No, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of different things came
Yeah.
together. The contract expiring being one of them. and everything just kind of pushed.
I think he
to
wanted. I
the
think he
end.
wanted his swan song. I think he wanted to like
Yeah,
go out in a blaze of glory.
right. I don't know if there was a scenario where like he quits being Iron Man and Iron Man lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the death was maybe like a
Because we hadn't gotten
necessity.
to the multiverse saga before that. If we were in the multiverse saga, that's a totally different story
Totally different story. Yeah.
ongoing. So yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
This one's easy for me. I'll go ahead and pose the question to you, Jimmy, and
Okay.
everybody listening. Random topic, but could you only eat Domino's? So Domino's pizza and anything right in Domino's, right? So not just pizza. They have like breadsticks and
Mhm.
pasta. Maybe not pasta,
Mhm.
but anything at Domino's. Could you eat only Domino's for a year for $5 million?
That's not as easy. That's not as easy of an answer as you think. So, a year, 365 days. That's a long time to eat the same stuff, right? $5 million is a lot of money.
I was gonna say.
Now, I know because I have kids that like Domino's, so I've ordered big family stuff from Domino's. Domino's has obviously pizza. They have subs.
Yep.
They have
Yeah,
pasta.
yeah.
They have salads, but it's weak. It's like a house salad and a Caesar salad. There's not a lot of you need vegetables over a year, but that's you're not really you're getting some tomatoes. I mean, the lettuce isn't going to do you any good. They have wings,
Mhm.
they have desserts, and they have drinks. So I could get creative with the sandwiches and the pasta and like separate them to have like grilled chicken. There's ways where I could make it where it wasn't straight pizza every night. Me personally, I don't. If there's one thing you'll learn about me, and you probably already know it, I know Wes knows it. I don't like to leave money on the table. So I would figure it out and make it work.
Exactly. No, to me, it's just kind of like it's a year. Sacrifice a year.
You really like pizza though, but I'm
I
telling you
love
right now,
pizza, but
the
I
first month
love
in-
$5 million.
Yeah, I'm saying the first month in, you would be sick to the sight of pizza. You'd have to get creative.
Oh, you totally.
You would have to.
But even that, I can ignore that.
You
'Cause
also
I
have to
don't-
think about. You have to think about health.
I get it. No, I totally get it. Like,
Do you
but
remember
it's-
that documentary? What was it? Super Size Me?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
I get it, but like you're not saying I have to seclude myself and live in a Domino's. I can still work out.
No.
I can still run.
You have to. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks has to come from Domino's. Everything.
No big
Drinks,
deal. I don't. Yeah, it's easy for me. No, that's an
5
easy
mil?
thing.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what makes it
Yeah.
easy is the $5 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying it wouldn't suck because
Yeah.
it would. Yeah,
It
eventually
would.
it would. Yeah,
By the time you
no,
got to the finish line, it would be terrible.
totally. You probably wouldn't want pizza or Domino's ever
Anything.
again.
Okay.
But for $5 million, yeah, sheesh, easy.
Listeners, if you're in our Discord or if you're just listening, let us know. 5 mil Domino's for a year. But I want you to think it through. Don't just give us a default answer. Think about it. Picture yourself eating Domino's for 365 days. Okay, GameStop is launching new retro stores. I don't know anything about this. Warren doesn't know anything about this, but Wes does. So it sounds exciting.
Yeah, I mean, so according to the GameStop Twitter account, they said that the classics are back and there's new retro GameStops are spawning near you. Essentially what they're doing is they're rebranding some GameStops just specifically to be retro stores. So we're talking NES games, SNES games, Wii U, Wii, and my thoughts are like, what if they start selling like older comics and stuff? And how do you guys think this is going to affect like the retro game industry? What are your thoughts?
So they're going to compete direct with yard sales and flea markets because that's their bread and butter. A lot of them they do those retro type or the mom and pop retro stores. They're going to compete straight with them. I will say this, and I mean this in the most loving manner I can say it. GameStop is the cockroach you cannot kill. You cannot. You can step on them. You can try to smush them. You can sweep them under the rug. You can throw them out. They do not die. They adapt and survive.
They're adaptable. Yeah, they're adaptable.
They adapt and survive.
They know what
Retro
it
is
takes.
huge. I don't know if you guys just saw the Atari that got announced. The modernized Atari 2600 and 7800. It looks exactly like it. Has a wireless controller. You're going to be able to play all the old Atari games. It's coming.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I know why they're doing it, and I know retro is massive right now. Everybody wants retro everything. I'm digging it. I'm going to visit it. But at the end of the day, in 3 years, it'll probably phase out, and I'll have to figure out the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the prices. They're pretty solid. Like, you know, they're not as
so
bad
are
as
they?
some.
So they're trying to go to war with DK oldies.
That's exactly what it is. Like, if you look at the price differences, like DK was selling something for $229 for like a Pokemon Emeralds, and on the GameStop there was like $60.
But then again, you're going to go take it into GameStop, and they're going to give you $3.72.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Honestly,
DK
if you look at the
Oldies is
price-
probably. Would you say they're probably one of the biggest websites for retro games?
1000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're one of the most popular, at least.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
obviously, like
their business
find
model
them
crushes
wherever.
it. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Like, they're guaranteed to make profit like crazy.
I'll
So,
go
I don't
visit
know.
it.
Yeah, I'll
I'll-
go give it a visit.
And
I'll
you
buy
can them
something.
online as
Take me
well,
down
like,
memory
in
lane.
certain-
I'll make a Twitter video out of it.
Yeah, they've got a store locator up right now where you can go on and like see if you've got one in your area. There's nothing close to me. It's like 100 miles away. So
Ooh, I'll have to check that out.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I'll check it out for sure.
Cool.
All right. All right, Warren, it's top 5 time. You and me, top 5. My list versus your list. And we have one on here that I struggled with. But we're going to start off. This is where me and Warren give our top 5s of topics that either we come up with, but we would really, really more like you guys to come up with. So once again, it's super, super important. If you guys have Discord, join our Discord because you can actually pick these topics for us. Or you can leave us a comment on any platform you're listening or watching and give us top 5 topics that you would like to hear our versions of. The harder, the more we have to think,
the more fun
the
for
better.
y'all. Maybe not for
this
us.
one's not hard. The first one's not hard.
Okay.
Top 5 Nicolas Cage movies.
It's interesting because you say it's not hard, so I'm really
It's not.
curious to.
This-
I almost
this
want to
one-
hear all of your. I want to hear
No.
your whole list at once.
Nope.
No?
Okay. Gotta go
Well-
back and forth. I do know there's like 100 Nicolas Cage movies, but this is
Gosh,
pretty
there's
easy.
so
So I'll
many.
kick it
Okay.
off.
Yeah, go ahead, kick it off.
And you're probably gonna be like, oh, I forgot about this one. Into the Spider-Verse.
I did forget about
Ha
that. okay.
If I'm not allowed to use a voice acting one, I already prepared for this.
See, I thought just I
I
was
got
thinking
you.
of him.
I got
Okay.
you. I'll go
Okay.
Family Man.
Oh, I forgot about Family Man. That's a great
Yeah,
one too.
That one makes you think.
Yeah, no, that's a good one too. That's a
All right,
really
what you
good
got?
one. Also that could be a Christmas one. But
Mm-hmm.
The Weatherman, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
That was a good one.
there's some good lines in that one. Like
Yeah.
people don't throw soda at me anymore. It's probably because I carry a bow around. Like
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. Yeah.
Weatherman was good. All right, number 4, Con Air.
I have what do we call them? Honorable mentions.
Okay.
It's in there. It's in
Okay.
there.
All right. what's
Number
your
4 for me, National Treasure.
Okay.
Both
Number-
of them. I think there's
Just put it.
only 2, right?
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
there a third one?
No, there was 2 and then the TV show, which sucked.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. No, the movies. Love it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay. Okay.
So good. When they play Lowrider and they're just ready to go.
Yep.
So good.
To me, number 3, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Pedro Pascal.
Okay. It was funny, but I don't.
I
wouldn't put it in the
thought
top 5.
it was hilarious.
It was funny.
I thought it was great. I
It was
loved
funny. Number 2, National Treasure, and I'll do the same as you. I'll encompass both of them because I eat those movies up. I think it's a huge missed opportunity. We never got a 3.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yep.
They're just so entertaining and
They
like
are.
intriguing. Yeah.
Because they weave in the history and
Right,
make their own.
exactly. It's
I love it.
it's such a clever one. And
Love
just
it.
yeah. Number 2, Kick-Ass.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I don't know if I would have put it up though, but I didn't think about that one.
I think his
That's
character
a good
like,
one.
yeah, it's really good.
That's a good. My number 1, hands down, seen it the most times out of a Nic Cage movie. Lord of War is awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that one. My number 1 is Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay.
And
What
I do
are
have
your honorable mentions?
Con Air and Face Off.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought about Face Off too.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch it, he's really cheesy. He's really cheesy in
Yeah.
it. And Snake Eyes. You remember Snake Eyes?
Cage, Snake Eyes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, that's a good one too. Honorable mention. Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
Next one.
did you not put The Rock on your guys' lists?
I
What?
didn't.
Sean Connery? Ed Harris?
That would have made my list. I
Oh my
completely
God.
Honorable
whiffed
mention,
that
but-
one.
I'm angrily.
That's gonna
Well,
be
because I also
that's gonna be a bit. I'm definitely farming that one for sure. Okay, next up is this was hard. This was really hard.
This was one that's like it's you asked forbidden questions here, forbidden list here on this one.
Top 5 movies with a location in the title. If
Not
Ashley
what
was
I thought
doing
we were
this,
gonna do. Sorry.
yeah, if Ashley was doing this, she would have knocked it out of the park because she likes Sleepless in Seattle, Sweet Home in Alabama, all those
Right,
rom-com
right.
movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Number 5 for me, Madagascar.
Yeah. Okay. 5 for me, and I'll go ahead and throw in honorable mention already. Sweet Home Alabama. I actually really like rom-coms.
It's a good movie.
There's one on here for that, but Once Upon a Time in China.
Okay, I
don't
like
know
that.
if yeah.
Number 4 for me, I'm just going to encompass the entire thing, but the original Pirates of the Caribbean,
Wait, what did you put for 5?
Madagascar.
Okay, gotcha. So
Number 4
Yeah,
for me is Pirates of the
Pirates
Caribbean.
Can't go wrong there. Italian Job for me is number 4.
I like Italian Job.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, this is a good one. Gangs of New York.
I thought so. I thought about that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a raw movie, man.
yeah, it is. Number
That
3
is
for
a
me
raw
is
movie.
Madagascar. So
Okay. Well, number 2 for me is The Italian Job.
there you go. Ooh, I like it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a good one. So is Gangs of New York though.
It
Dang.
is.
Excuse me. 2 for me. What Happens in Vegas? It's
Okay.
a rom-com.
I like
love it. Yeah,
I like it.
I do like funny rom-com movies, but yeah.
I do too. And number 1 for me, and now that I look at this list, I should have put it way down. Gangs of New York probably should have been number 1, but I don't know why. I just like it. London Has Fallen. I love Gerard Butler,
Yeah.
and I just love those
Morgan
movies.
Freeman. Yeah.
And there's not a lot of location movie titles to pick from.
There's
that
not.
are
There's not.
decent.
Well, and that's why my number 1 is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. All right. Actually,
Love
we breezed through that one pretty good.
Yeah.
Next one.
Is the next one the forbidden one?
This one's hard. This is super hard. And I don't even know if we should be doing it this early in our podcast career, but we're going to do it. Top 5 Star Wars movies.
Yeah, this is the forbidden ones. Like, you don't ask that. Like, don't ask me what my top favorite Marvel
asking it.
movies are.
You go first.
Number 5, Attack of the Clones. Which I'm gonna get this list is gonna get me flack, but I don't care because I like what I like. It is what it is. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. The relationship between Padme and Anakin, how it develops in that one, it's awesome.
Okay.
The first time, like Yoda, it's awesome. I don't care.
Keep talking.
I don't care.
Go ahead.
Come at me. No, I have more to say on this list, so just go.
Number 5 for me is A New Hope. It's where it all started. Technically, before the prequels.
Yep.
It's where it all started for me.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, number 4.
Rogue One.
Okay.
I don't think people can. That's a great movie, man.
Mhm.
The
Super
overall
good
movie and then the Darth Vader scene at the end. But like I always talk about the Darth Vader scene, but the whole movie in general is just really great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Number 4 for me is Revenge of the Sith. That was an emotional roller coaster ride for me. And I will just tell you, that's the only prequel movie that makes it in my top 5, as it should be. So if you pop another one in here,
I feel judgment.
yeah. So your number 4 was Rogue One. Mine was Revenge of the Sith. What's your number 3?
A New Hope.
Okay. Fair enough.
Started it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is Rogue One.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Great.
so rewatchable.
Totally.
It's super. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park. All right, number 2.
Empire Strikes Back. Why do I sense more judgment for that? Because you think it should be number 1.
I'm not judging you.
That's your point. I'm not judging you.
I'm not judging you. I'm gonna get
Empire Strikes Back has to be 1 for you.
So I'm
But
going
we'll
to get a
get
little
to
bit of hate for this because I know it's not on a lot of people's top 5, but I feel like it's just wrong if I don't get the 3 originals in there for me because they're such a big part of my childhood. So I have to put Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I do. And I know some people argue that it's the weaker of the 3, but I would disagree. It was a culmination of a trilogy story that was an amazing ride.
I understand that. No,
With a huge bomb dropped when we got for the very first time, I Am Your Father. It's one of the biggest movie theater moments in history.
Yeah, no, totally.
If we had social media and there was ways to capture that, that would have been on par or above those in-game moments. It would have.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Because there was nothing leaked back then.
Yeah, but so what's funny is like, what is it? Like Vader in German means father. So now I feel like the internet would have figured it out now. Like I feel like it debuted
we're much
at the perfect
smarter
time.
now.
Yeah, like I feel like it debuted perfectly.
All right, number 1.
I'm not ashamed at all. Revenge of the Sith.
Oh my god.
I'm not ashamed at all.
It can't be number 1.
It is for me. It is number one for me. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
I'm gonna change your list, and I'm gonna flip at least the 2. I'm gonna for you. I'm gonna flip, and you're gonna have Empire at number 1 moving forward, and you can have your Revenge at number 2.
I'm okay with that.
I can sleep with that.
I'm okay with that too.
Okay, all right.
Because it's like it's like a teeter totter.
Yeah, got to go Empire. And I've got Empire Strikes Back at number 1.
Told you, I knew it was number 1.
It's the best Star Wars movie ever. So I have Revenge of the Sith at 4 and 1. And now that I've changed your list, you've got 1 and 2. So we did it. Look, that wasn't hard.
What did I have that you didn't have? Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna get destroyed.
I like the prequels a lot, except for number 1.
You're gonna be in trouble.
I've been public about this for such a long time, and then people always ask, "Why don't you cover Star Wars?" This is why. Because people will not like what I have to say about Star Wars.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one. All right,
I love that movie.
The final top 5 for the day.
This one was actually really hard too.
This was fun for me.
It was
Lots
fun.
of memories here, and
Hard.
proves how old I am too. Your top 5 Christmas movies of all time. I'm gonna start.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the classic A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what it is. It's Fragile. I don't know. It's a prize. It's an award. We got to open it. It ends up being the leg lamp.
Oh, fudge. But I didn't say fudge.
Yeah.
No, that's a great one. It made my honorable mentions and it was very hard. So Home Alone.
Okay. All
Home
right.
Alone. I think that's just the classic around my age, you know, movie. So
all right. Number 4 for me is Die Hard. It is a Christmas movie.
Number 4 for me is Die Hard.
Oh, it actually happens more often for you and me than not. All right.
It does.
Number 3.
I threw it in here just so in case you didn't, and you're one of those people that's like, Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Yes, it is.
It's definitely a Christmas movie. Number 3 for me is Elf. I've seen it. I've seen it 20 times. I'll see it I'll watch it every Christmas.
Will Ferrell. No, trust me. I
Buddy the Elf.
Yep. Oh yeah, totally. Number 3 for me is the Santa Claus.
Okay. I actually have that in my honorable mentions.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep.
No.
Number 2 for me is Home Alone. Absolutely classic. Fun little fact. I've had breakfast or brunch at that hotel where you can go stay in the Kevin room.
Yeah. Oh, that's really super cool. I didn't actually know you can do that. That's cool.
Yeah. You can stay in the Kevin room.
That's cool. I need to do that at one point in my life. Number 2 for me is Elf.
Okay.
I mean, it's just. Does anybody hate that movie?
No.
Let us know in the comments. Like, yeah, I love that. Yeah,
surely not.
So our number 1 movies the same? Do we say it at the
National
same time?
Lampoon's Christmas?
Oh my gosh, no, they're not the same. But yeah, I mean, Chevy Chase. I mean, just like totally. I get that a lot. So my number 1 is just a very heartfelt thing for me because it's a big family movie that we literally watch every Christmas, including when my dad was alive. But I also love the movie, The Grinch.
The Grinch.
It's such a classic. It's just
it is.
Yeah, but Jim Carrey is just phenomenal in that.
He is the Grinch.
Like I quote that movie all year round, not just in Christmas.
I had one honorable mention, Santa Claus. So
yeah, I mean, like the
That's
Santa
good.
Claus, Home Alone, Christmas Story. Christmas Story is a little bit before me, but still one of those that you have to watch during Christmas. Yeah, those are classics.
Okay, guys, here we go. It is time for overrated, underrated. I'm going to give you guys a list of words, and what you guys are going to do is tell me if something is overrated or underrated. Let's get it going. I'm only going to do a 3-second countdown. Last time I did 5. Apologies for that one, but okay, let's get it going. Hey, guys, overrated, underrated, Starbucks. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, man.
I have to put properly rated because we have it like almost every day. I actually ordered it this morning.
Overrated. I don't even drink coffee, but
How about that Folgers in your cup, buddy?
it is very
Oh.
expensive.
Everything's expensive. Have you tried it?
I don't drink coffee.
Folgers
So-
black coffee. Let's go. Okay, next,
That's why
next
it's
up, guys.
overrated.
Can we have you
Overrated?
drink Starbucks coffee for the first time on a podcast sometime?
No.
Can't
So
watch
really-
a horror. Can't watch a horror movie with Warren. Can't drink Starbucks with Warren. What can we do together?
Overrated, underrated.
Yeah. Okay.
True, true. Next up, the perfect segue. Next up, overrated, underrated, Call of Duty.
Segways. Oh,
3, 2. That's also good. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
it's a funny question asking Jimmy.
Yeah.
Kind of want to see what he says first. He's the
honest?
caller. He's the caller. The chaos here is sweating right now.
I'm good at. I'm taking. I'm just.
Properly rated.
Properly
Okay.
rated for
rated.
both of
Love
us. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Captain Marvel. 3, 2, 1.
Properly rated.
Oh.
Well,
No. Properly rated because it was rated bad.
okay. If that's the case, then yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Now I
We're going
did
for
like
movie
aspects of it. I liked the 80s vibe and like the blockbusters, all that stuff, and
I was thinking about the character in general.
okay, yeah, we're on the
True.
same page.
Okay, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Oh, there's so many aspects to this question.
It's
Like, is he Tony or is
multifaceted.
he Victor? Because that depends. Because it really does make a difference if he's Tony or Victor.
I'm waiting for you.
If he's Tony, it's underrated. It's gonna be fantastic if he's Tony. If he's Victor, properly rated.
I love how it's green as well for Victor.
Yep. There you go. Okay.
Properly rated.
Jimmy's
okay.
properly rated. There we go. Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
next
You
up,
looking
guys.
for this? Oh, it's
I
gonna be
dropped
interesting.
it, and
It's gonna be interesting to see him see.
Hey, I know what that was Rhodey, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be really
Yeah.
interesting to see him see a Doom Tony Stark person
True.
thing. We'll see. Anyways,
Very
next.
Okay, overrated, underrated, naps during the day. Is a day napper?
Oh no. Oh
That
no. We
is-
got a fight.
No,
Yeah.
you old man. I tried, and Ashley can take a nap. If I fall asleep for 30 minutes during the day, the rest of my day is jacked. I can't get going. It's ruined. I'm lethargic. I can't do those power nap things.
Yeah, you got to do 20 minutes.
20
lay
minutes.
down, put the legs up.
Is that what it
20-minute
is?
Power nap.
Mhm.
Yep. 20 minutes.
That's what Navy
Max.
SEALs
So
do.
if you go past that, you're in that territory I get into.
When you get up to 30 minutes, it's where you start to get groggy.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Going in there,
Maybe I'll
ready to sleep.
retry it.
Navy SEAls do it when they can't
Okay.
really sleep, when they put their legs up, like Wes said. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next up, guys. Overrated, underrated, Beetlejuice, the original movie. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Overrated.
Oh my God, Warren, have you even watched it?
Yes.
Keep going, Wes.
I
don't wanna argue.
Okay, next one. Overrated, underrated, Nutella. 3, 2, 1.
It's literally just chocolate spread, guys. I don't care if it's hazelnuts. It's not healthy for you. It's
I'm just saying it tastes good, so it's properly rated.
fair.
I mean, I don't live for it. I don't have it
Yeah.
in my home, but I mean, it's chocolate. It tastes good.
yeah. It's technically not chocolate.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
My brain thinks it's chocolate, which is all that matters.
That's funny. Okay, this next one is going to be a little bit different. It's multifaceted, so just think about it real quick. It's going to be video game remakes. Are they overrated? Are they underrated? 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Wait, time out. I have a question. Remakes
What's up?
as in like literal remakes of the same exact game, or
Exactly.
like
So,
a number
Resident Evil
5?
4 being remade.
Or like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 rebirth or remake, and then rebirth.
I don't think I've ever played a remake.
Here, I got you. This is the proper answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say
There you go,
it
there you
really
go.
depends on it. So
It depends on the game.
all
It
of
depends
them.
on the franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Resident Evil remakes have been knocking it out of the park,
They have,
but
yeah.
we've had other remakes that bombed.
How did
So-
Final Fantasy do? I don't even know.
Final Fantasy critically acclaimed. Rebirth might win Game of the Year.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Myth Wukong.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
next up we have K-pop. Overrated, underrated. 3, 2, 1. I put it in there for 4. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Shut up, Jimmy. Just cut him out of this.
Cut him out of this.
Cut him.
I-
Mute his audio.
look,
Underrated.
Look, here's the thing. I put this up for 2 reasons. 1, to get a reaction out of you, and 2, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, because
So-
it's a different language.
So maybe this will be different in the future. And you know what? Here's the deal, Warren. I'm open to growing on this podcast. I'm open to experiencing more K-pop, but I also need my partner to be able to experience things like Starbucks and horror movies. So when you open up, I'll open up. And
that's
maybe these signs
hilarious.
will change.
That's hilarious. So
Diplomacy is what they.
I will say K-pop. One thing is like K-pop concerts blow other concerts out of the water. There's a lot I could say. I could really like. I literally have a
I
K-pop
really can't
podcast.
comment because
so-
I've never seen them. Not even like
They're pretty
online.
hype.
Like
From
I guess
what
I'm gonna go watch. Send me something if you're trying to convince somebody that's never watched any of it.
I got you.
that
I got you.
would be interesting.
I got
All
you. Cool.
Thank you. Okay, next
Good
up,
one,
guys.
Wes.
Oh yeah. Next up is Netflix. Overrated, underrated. 3, 2, 1. Send it, boyos. Upside down, properly rated.
Properly rated for both of us.
I feel like
Yeah.
is that a middle finger?
No, no, it wasn't. I mean, it's properly
those
rated.
price hikes.
It's properly rated.
Okay, cool. Next up, the Sonic movies. Live action Sonic movies. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Properly rated.
Am I gonna get in trouble if I haven't seen the second one?
Yeah, they're all really good, both of them. You need to get on that. Paramount Plus.
Cut him
Oh,
out
man.
again. We'll just cut it just like the K-pop.
Yeah,
He's
just
not.
cut 'em out.
The first one was good.
Yeah,
There you go.
second one was really good.
Yeah.
Bro,
Okay,
you
I'll
didn't experience Idris Elba? Come on, bro. Come on now.
I'll go watch
on
it
now.
tonight. I'll go watch it
Do
tonight.
it.
Okay, next up. This one is gonna be a hot topic. We might get a lot of hate for this one. Okay, choose wisely. Taylor Swift, overrated, underrated. Send it.
Ha, so I used to be a really big Swiftie, like really big Swiftie. Like I've been to a lot of Taylor Swift concerts, and I used to love her, but now, yeah, I'll do this.
Okay.
She's
there,
properly
Jimmy.
rated, but also a little overrated.
Jimmy,
I think
keep the safe
she's-
answer.
I wouldn't say I'm a Taylor Swift fan, but she's an icon. I mean, she's touched millions of lives with her music, so I'll say properly rated.
Okay, fair. Next one. This one also
You're a hater.
controversial.
I used to love. Dude, there's pictures of me dressed up in costumes going to Taylor Swift concerts. I got invited to an invite-only Taylor Swift concert pre-Super Bowl party where there was only 2,000 people and I was the literal front row. And she's like looking at me singing to me. Like I used to be a really big Taylor Swift fan,
You're a hater.
but her
now.
music changed. I don't hate her by any means.
She
whatsoever.
changed with her eras. Some would say that that's adaptable, and she doesn't stay in one lane. She can adapt and go do new things,
And
depending
that's
on how her
fine.
life is.
And that's fine. I just didn't.
The more I think about it, she's pretty amazing.
I'm not arguing she's not amazing. I just can't relate to her
She's
music as
raising-
much as I did before. That's all.
Fair. Okay.
I'd be lying if I said she wasn't on my workout playlist, Spotify.
I listen to her stuff all the time, but I listen to her older stuff a lot. So
Her older stuff was really good. All right, next up, guys. This one is going to be interesting. Podcasts about pop culture. 3, 2,
Oh.
1. Send it. Good answer.
underrated.
Shameless.
Underrated.
Shameless plug.
Underrated.
Shameless plug. The Multiverse podcast. You can search it on any platform and find it. And right now, It may not sound like it, but it's ad free.
True.
Hashtag
Okay.
not sponsored.
Yeah,
Next
not
up,
sponsored.
guys. Here we go. Stranger Things, the show. 3, 2, 1, send it.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this. And yes, I've seen every episode of every season. And I thought when it was new, it was really, really cool. And then the new wore off really quickly.
That's what I'm struggling with. I'll still say properly rated, but when it first came out, it's kind of does creep into that horror-esque stuff. So I didn't want to watch it at all. But the girl I was dating at the time was like, no, like, you don't understand. Like, I know your taste. I think you'll be all right. It's really interesting. And I watched it and I was like really hooked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to me, as it went on, it kind of died a little bit down for me,
Yeah.
but I still think it's properly rated.
I mean, I watch season 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, fair. Next up, guys, here we go. Barbie the movie, the recent one. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Ooh, that's tough.
It was funny, dude. It was a fun movie.
I'm going to say
experience.
properly rated because
go ahead.
No, there's a lot I don't like about it, but there's a lot I do like about it. So properly
How much
rated.
hate would I get for saying that in a Barbie movie?
Ken
the
shined?
shining spot was Ken.
Oh no, so that's for me too. Yeah.
Okay. On a podcast with 3 dudes.
I mean, but flipping that, shouldn't we be like, oh, Margot Robbie's so hot? Oh, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm sitting there like, Ken, nice.
Ken was Ken carried the movie.
I'm just Ken.
Margot Robbie did great as Barbie.
She did. No, she did fantastic.
But Ken,
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Fair.
She brought the deep aspect to it, and he brought the comedy. And I'm a comedy guy. So.
And the shallowness.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay. These next two are going to tell a lot about a person. Okay.
No.
First one is ketchup. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Ashley doesn't like it.
Probably
I don't
rated.
understand it. It's underrated.
No, I love ketchup.
You can put it on hot dogs. You can put it on hamburgers. You can have it with your French fries.
Mix it with mayonnaise. Like,
Do not put it in eggs, though. If you put ketchup in eggs,
please no. That's crazy to me.
Okay, next one, mustard. 3, 2, 1.
Same thing. It's amazing. You can use it with so many different foods.
I don't like
Overrated
mustard.
for Warren.
Wait, I like honey mustard. Is that? Or
That's
just
a mustard.
That's a mustard, yeah.
Probably rated. There we go. Boom.
Now, what's better, ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
Hit the two together. This is like
Ketchup.
I would have to go ketchup because you can use it. It has more utility.
It has more utility. Yeah.
okay. You guys are entitled to your wrong opinions. That's fine.
There's a mustard man over here.
Heck yeah, dude. We love mustard.
All right, Warren, this is a favorite part of the show for me because we get to put each other on the spot and ask questions and see if the other one agrees or disagrees. And neither one of us, this is not scripted in any way. These are our private lists that we put together.
Idea. Yeah,
I literally sit in bed and try to think of things that I can do to make you squirm. Not things, things I can say to make you squirm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's deep.
I need to start putting more thought into
Yeah,
that.
you definitely need to start putting more thought into it.
I mean, I put thought, but I don't sit in bed at night and think about it.
All right. Agree or disagree? Everyone should brush their teeth in the shower.
What? No. I disagree. I had to think about what you're saying.
Why? We just got done talking about the utility of ketchup, the utility of being able to, you don't have to like spit in the sink. You can rinse your toothbrush out in the shower while you're doing it. It's all getting done at the same time. Wham, bam. It's all done.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, makes sense, but no.
Okay. All right.
So I think my issue is you think out of
nice.
the box. I'm too honed in on like movies.
Okay.
Because one of mine, because since the Sonic trailer came out and we reacted to it, that should be up soon, guys. Wink, wink for those listening. I pose Shadow is better than Sonic.
Well, I already exposed myself for not
That's why I said some of these are kind of redundant.
Super true Sonic fan, but I will say that I am biased to Keanu Reeves, so I'm probably going to gravitate towards Shadow anyway.
Okay.
So I'll give you the thumbs up.
Okay, there we go. Cool. I like it.
Okay. A Gambit standalone movie wouldn't go over well because of the accent. We actually already talked about this, and I already know you disagree. Listen. If they tone it down,
they would.
Yes. If they don't, and they go with that slapstick humor of the accent that they did on purpose, which it hit and it was funny, You
Yeah.
can't do that for 2 hours and make people attach and get
I think
invested.
I understand that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I did try to think of something that would kind of
Throw me
maybe
off.
put you on the spot a little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I agree with this, but I want to see Jimmy react. Fortnite's better than Call of Duty. See, that's what I want.
Are we talking in terms of entertainment for the player? Are we talking in terms on the bigger grand scale of things?
The bigger grand scale of things. Oh, really?
I agree.
That
And,
is
and
not
the reasoning is because Fortnite
They do
continues to
so
evolve.
much. Right. They do so much where I feel
They've made their own metaverse.
They have.
Call of Duty is a arcade shooter. I mean,
Yeah.
arcade style shooter. That's what it does. That's what it's good at sometimes. And it's you can't really go with those. Do I have memories with both? I have some of my most enjoyable memories gaming with friends.
You are literally in a Call of Duty game.
But I have some of my most enjoyable memories in Fortnite gaming with friends that I can think of. I have memories with Call of Duty too, and I'm partial to Call of Duty because Call of Duty literally helped shape and carve me and my family's life over the last 15 years. Call of Duty opened doors that never would have been opened for me.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
I wanted to. I do
really
think
good
about these, but I am stuck in like the pop culture bubble.
I am proud of you right now. That was a good one. Okay. Tom Holland is the third best Spider-Man behind Tobey and Andrew.
Ooh, that's a hard one too. Because I have to put aside the fact that I don't like the Amazing Spider-Man movies and just think about Andrew Garfield himself as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I will agree with you.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean, viewers, listeners, that we think Tom Holland's a bad
no,
Spider-Man.
I think he's amazing.
He's awesome.
I think he's amazing.
We are just blessed with three really
great Spider-Man. And Toby's always going to have a nostalgia,
of course,
factor with him.
Yeah.
And I
feel like Andrew's the most whimsical Spider-Man.
That's what I like about him too. Yeah, and I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like they're all amazing. Yeah, it's hard to rank.
Well, technically, no, Andrew is amazing, but go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought, again, movie theater experiences after COVID are worse.
I agree. People don't have respect at movies anymore. There's no respect. Before COVID, it would happen every once in a while. Now we go in, it's 50-50. Some kids are going to be in there. They're not watching the movie. They've got their phones on. Right. They're laughing, talking, opening the door 8,000 times, leaving the movie theater, going somewhere else. The movie theater, and I can't say that. I don't want to say it. The movie theater is a special place for me.
Yeah, same.
It's like a second home to me. There's something special about it. And for me, and I'm not like the guy that says, oh, you can't do anything, or I'm not that guy, but there are common courtesies that you follow when you are in the hollows of a movie theater.
Yeah.
It's just,
I have yelled at people in movie theaters.
Oh, so have me and Ashley.
Post COVID. Yeah. When you're like, there was this one time, there was this kid behind me. I think it was not the last Ghostbusters that came out, but the other one with Paul Rudd. Maybe that's the first one with Paul Rudd because he's only in 2, but so it's the first one. There was some like guy fake laughing at everything and during non-serious parts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do it again, bro. I was like, do it one more time. And his dad was with him. And he's like, hey, shut up. I was like, why did you tell him to shut up when he started doing it? And then there was another time, I don't remember what it was at Barbie, actually. There was the group of kids behind me. And I guess like one spilled the soda. And he's like stomping in the soda on the ground, making a bunch of noise. And I turned around. I was like, stop it right now. Like dead serious. I was like, stop it right now.
Yeah.
And he stopped. So I guess I'm scary, but I don't know.
we would be good going to the movie theaters together.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm just, you're not going to like if you start to interrupt my movie theater experience, it's not good.
You're going to get bad, Warren. All right. It's not possible to make the perfect Star Wars movie. I'm good at this.
There's aspects to this as well. I would disagree. I think it's possible. Is it possible with the people in charge right now? Probably not. In fact, I would say no. Is it possible to please the fans? No, you're never gonna get a Star Wars fan that's unanimously amazing all around. No.
Agreed.
So then I guess I do agree. Never mind.
All right.
But that's based on the fandom. Like, is there a perfect Star Wars film to me? They could make one, but that perfect movie to me is still not going to be accepted as a perfect movie in the fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. This is something. It's pretty hard, I think. Maybe it's not to some people, but The Lord of the Rings is the best movie trilogy.
I'm going to disagree, but I would put it in my top 3. So it's amazing. The best movie trilogy to me is Back to the Future.
Yeah, I just recently rewatched all of them. Lord of
the Rings is really, really good.
What's your other one?
Do you count Star Wars?
No, Star Wars. I know. You see, to me, it's not a trilogy. I guess you could count the original trilogy, but I don't trilogy now.
Forever.
It was, but now it's just a huge big. So I don't count it.
Okay, there's so many. I don't know. I was thinking Star Wars, but I mean, you could go Terminators. You could go Indiana Jones. There's a lot.
I mean, even Indiana Jones. They've cranked out 2 more since the trailer. However many more.
Those don't count.
I don't count them either. But
those don't count.
But anyways, yeah. So there. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's my list.
Okay. Well, you're on the hot seat for 3. Kit Kats are better than Snickers.
Oh no, I highly disagree. Snickers are amazing. Kit Kats don't stand a chance. Get out of here.
Don't do it for you.
Yeah.
The Batman franchise often relies too heavily on nostalgia rather than innovation.
What? Just in general? Because I thought the Batman was actually quite different than what we've gotten before. So I would disagree on that.
He's a guy in a suit with the Batmobile.
Yeah, but it's not about that. And one thing I really liked about the Batman is, like DC Detective Comics. Like there was good detective Batman in the Batman, which is great from what we've seen with like the Snyderverse, right? Yeah. But I also think what we've seen with Snyderverse is really well. There's a lot of that's why I love Batman. There's just he's so deep, and there's a lot of things they can do. So I guess in a way I do agree because they've done kind of the same thing a lot, but the Batman to me was very good because they did kind of take it like a different route, right? So it was more detective-y, right? So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Final one. Everyone should work a fast food job at some point in their life.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I worked at Steak and Shake. Did people know about Steak and Shake?
Yeah, Steak and Shake. I worked at Pancake House, McDonald's, Burger King.
I mean, so I think
Chili's.
I worked at Chili's. I was a bartender at Chili's. I was a waiter for a little bit, and then I became a bartender, which you're still also a waiter when you're a bartender in that bar area. And then I think that's, yeah. And I can't remember the Caribbean Grill. I also worked at as well, but those aren't fast food. So I've done, I think Steak and Shake's the only fast food.
You could expand it. You could say food industry, but the point is, the reason I'm saying the question is, there's a lot of things that you can learn out of the gate working in the food industry.
Totally. And I would add retail to that as well.
Yeah.
Because definitely. I worked at my first official job ever was Abercrombie and Fitch. And then I worked at Hollister after that. They're the same company really. So whatever.
Yeah, food and retail is tough.
Yeah. Well, I went from Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister, Steak and Shake, Chili's, Caribbean Grill. And then that was the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody should work at least one.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I've got. Now it is time for our community.
Yeah.
This is where we've been pushing you guys.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts.
So glad you guys
us your questions.
Chimed in here.
A couple of these are actually just statements, but we want to recognize you guys. And if you're watching on YouTube, this is where you can visually see it. This first one is Tim South 5149.
What's going on,
hey guys?
Tim?
Fun podcast. Been following Warren on Cosmic Wonder for years. Also on the subject of who doesn't make it past Secret Wars, which we talked about in episode 2. His answer is Tom Holland, Spider-Man. It's a super hot take because I actually pushed that agenda with Warren and he disagreed. We both kind of came to the conclusion that Spider-Man prints money. Tom Holland prints money. We know he's around for other ones
So
after that.
that's the biggest deal for me, Tim, right? Is that everything I've heard about his contract says he's doing 6 more films. And he hasn't, out of those 6 films, he hasn't done one yet.
Yeah.
So he has 6 left. That could have changed. And if that changes and it's only 3, Spider-Man 4, Doomsday Secret Wars, yeah, it's possible. Because you also have to imagine, like, the people for Endgame, it was like no stakes involved, like no one's going to die, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how crazy would killing Spider-Man be?
I was going to say, if that ends up happening, we're going to revisit Tim South 5149.
We will. Thank you so much,
We appreciate the comment. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that was on the YouTube version of the podcast, but I know you can comment on Spotify and you can comment almost anywhere. TikToks, trust me, if it's something viable, we're going to grab it and we're going to talk about it. The next one is Nate Johansson.
Nate.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming HBO Harry Potter series? Wes probably has big opinions on this.
So do I.
I am scared.
I am scared out of my mind.
And I think we're in the majority. Yep, there's Wes.
So, yeah, no, look, I think that they can crush it. Like,
they can. It's possible.
Yeah, one of my biggest criticisms of the actual of the movies, and granted, I've read all the books a million times, I've watched all the movies. Literally, like whenever you guys talk about Christmas movies, like that's my Christmas movie. It's like my Halloween movie, it's my Christmas. It's like literally every part of the year.
I love Harry Potter. Yeah,
I think that if they be accurate to the actual the source material more, like we're in terms of like if you guys have read the Goblet of Fire, you know that movie. That movie could have been way better.
Yeah,
like just the 3 tasks, like they were so epic. So I think that them separating everything out, like each book gets a new season, it'll be much better. So that's my thought.
I'm scared because once again, it's the same thing we talk about every single time, and we don't know who is at the freaking steering wheel.
And it's always so hard when you take something that's so cherished and you try to redo it. Right?
This is huge. Like if you don't get this right, I would argue that the Harry Potter fans are on the same level of Star Wars and Marvel. I mean, maybe even more.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, it
is very dear to them.
Yeah. And it's dear to me. And I'm
not a super fan. I'm a Harry Potter fan. Me and my daughter Lainey watched them all probably the 4th time in a row, like a couple months ago. Super fun deal. I haven't read the books. I've watched all the movies. I've read the rides at Universal. So I would be your average Harry Potter fan. But I know as a super emotionally connected Star Wars fan, I know how it would feel and how it does feel, Acolyte, that you take something so cherished and dear and you butcher it.
Exactly.
So I'm scared.
I'm scared. Yeah. I think they can. I think they have the capability to get it right, but yeah, I'm terrified that they won't.
All right. The final one is from Dilly248. And he says, top 5 duels, not necessarily in any order, because we actually asked what their top 5 duels were. So Dilly, you are actually doing what we asked you to do. You were giving us yours. He ranked
Thank you so much.
So I want to know if everybody agrees. And if you don't, what do you not agree with? Dilly says at number 1, he has Anakin versus Obi-Wan episode 3. I agree wholeheartedly with that.
I mean, going back to the Star Wars segment of this, but anyway, where I gave you my top 5. Anyway.
Yeah. At number 2, he has Duel of Fates with Maul. Right? Totally agree with that one. Number 3, episode 5, Luke and Vader. Absolutely classic.
Yeah.
I will say it does not hold up in terms of aged well as the other ones. And it's way older. It's super old when it comes to action, because we all now have these expectations of duels we've seen in the Acolyte.
Right. Yeah,
then again, Anakin and Obi-Wan and Duel of Fates was 20 plus years ago. And those were good.
Yeah.
Those were really good.
Yeah.
At number 4, he's got Luke Vader episode 6. And speaking of another one that didn't hold up well at all, Obi-Wan versus Vader. Go back and rewatch it.
There's a reason I always prefer the prequels.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
all
Anyway, and at number 5, he has Ahsoka Maul Siege of Mandalore. Am I missing any from the live action? I think he knocked it out of the park. I can't think of any that would. I mean, Dooku. No.
You're
I know what you're
thinking
gonna say.
Yoda.
Yoda versus Dooku.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say that too, but no, freaking Yoda versus Palpatine.
Right.
I know it was digitally done, CGI. It was bad.
No,
it was awesome.
yeah.
It was badass. It was.
That's another reason why
You literally have Yoda finally. I mean, he just hobbles in and then he just goes to town.
Well, that's why I have freaking
Oh, I cannot
episode
believe it.
2
Think about
before.
it. Stop it. Quit justifying.
What are you talking
what
about? He goes against Dooku.
One scene does not predicate the movie being in your top 5 Star Wars list, which you know is a very special list.
And
you can't take it back. No takey back.
I'm not taking it back. I'm not taking it back.
You're gonna
That's
be
not-
in trouble.
I
You're
don't care.
gonna be in
The
trouble.
scene that lightsaber scene is not the only reason I like that.
Go to the corner. You're in
No,
trouble.
cut Jimmy out again. Cut. No.
Dilly 248, awesome list.
Thank you very much.
Guys, like I said, and Warren said, and we keep pushing it because this is what we do. We both come from building communities where we interact with those communities as much as we can. And we're not joking or like blowing smoke when we say this is what we want to be part of the show. We want to interact with you guys on Discord, YouTube
Yes.
comments, TikTok, wherever it may be. So get interactive with us. Tell us what hit or miss you want, what overrated, underrated. If you have questions, theories, it doesn't matter. If you're mad at us for a take we gave, be constructive, but we want to hear about it. I definitely want to hear about what you think about Warren putting Attack of the Clones
Go for it.
up there. That's it, guys. This will be available everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Podbean, Amazon, YouTube, not TikTok, Facebook. I don't know. And
Well,
if you want to
watch
see
our short content on TikTok, so
yeah, or TikTok and Instagram or
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts, if you want to watch our
we're everywhere,
20 minutes.
guys. Like
We are literally trying to
ladies
saturate
and gents, we are everywhere.
everywhere. And we truly appreciate you guys. That's it, guys. We
We
are
do.
3 deep. Until next week.